Welcome back, everyone. We, of course, are just hours from temperatures taking a pretty big tumble across central Texas. That extreme cold that we're expecting can be dangerous in a number of ways for people's health. But today we really want to focus and talk about the impact that it can have on our hearts.
So joining us today is Dr. Aditi Shankar, who's a cardiologist for Baylor Scott White Health. So doctor, thanks for being here ahead of this storm. We're catching you while it's still a little warm out there, not too bad.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me.
We appreciate it. So we want to let our audience know a study came out in 2024 showing there is an increase in people going to the hospital suffering from a heart attack, typically 2 to 6 days after a big cold snap. So what's going on medically there?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was one of the biggest study that came out. It was out of Sweden. So we had over 100,000 participants in that study. So we did see that the 2 to 6 days after a cold front, there was an increase in number of hospitalizations for people who presented with a heart attack. So definitely, there was always we didn't know that cold affects heart health, but this large-scale study proved it. We did see that there was a 10% increase in hospitalization during a cold front. And the hospitalization increased by about 5% if the cold front lasted for over 4 days.
And what is it about the cold that can really have that kind of impact on someone's heart?
Of course. It's like a flight or fight response, you know. So it's mainly the body tries to preserve the core body temperature. So the brain sends signals to your heart and all of the vessels to constrict. So it causes what we call vasoconstriction when all the peripheral blood vessels contract to preserve that core body temperature. And when that happens, the blood pressure rises and the heart rate rises, and that puts additional strain on your heart. So that additional strain in people who already have an underlying coronary artery disease, or they're susceptible to having coronary artery disease, that additional strain can tip them over and lead to a heart attack, increased angina, and all of these symptoms.
Yeah.
Wow. It's incredible to hear that explain just how the cold temperatures can really impact us so much.
Truly.
So if someone maybe is already at risk, or if someone's sitting at home hearing this, what can they be doing to try to protect themselves against, this happening to them? That's
a great question. So I think all of us would have seen this picture where, there's a man shoveling snow and he's clutching his chest. So that is a very real scenario. So what happens when a cold front comes in is your heart is already under strain. If you do have underlying coronary artery disease, or you've had prior stents before, or you have a family history of increased coronary artery disease, or either you have diabetes, hypertension, which of course are risk enhancers. So when a cold front comes in and the vasoconstriction happens and you try to go out and shovel snow, that already your heart is under stress and you're stressing it more by doing this intense physical activity, and that can cause heart attack. Also, studies have proven that it's not just the blood pressure and the heart rate which increases. Your blood also gets a little thicker and stickier, and that can cause, plaque to form and a clot to form, which can increase the risk of heart attack. So what they can do to protect themselves is, of course, refrain from intense physical activity when the cold front comes in. Listen to your body and know what it's telling you. So even if you have to go work out and you're used to working out, do it in moderation. Do not overdo it. And another thing is, of course, stay warm, layer up, get your gloves and hats out, and this is the time to do that. And then, mainly listen to your body.
Yeah, before we wrap everything up, I just want to pass along what you would say are some of the symptoms and signs that people should watch out for in case they might be experiencing a heart attack, and then if they recognize that, what they should do next.
So the main symptoms would be chest pain. You will feel pressure, or it can also manifest as shortness of breath, sudden onset increase in shortness of breath associated with sweating, fatigue. Those are some signs to watch out for. In females, you may not have the classic signs, but those are the main warning signs, and if it happens, don't ignore it. And definitely talk to your cardiologist if you have any of the underlying conditions, like a prior stent, prior heart attack. Talk to your cardiologist to see how you can protect yourself.
Such wonderful tips. As we know, folks might not be used to temperatures this cold here in Texas, might try to push themselves out on the trail tomorrow. So doctor, thank you so much for these great reminders and great insight as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. All of you stay safe out there.
Yes.